Hey guys, welcome back. You're watching the Camera 64 podcast, and I'm your host, Alfonso Chavez. And as always, I am coming to you from sunny San Antonio, Texas, home of the Spurs, guys. What can I say? We're not having too great of a year, but their Spurs are still playing their heart out, and that's all we can expect from them. They are still doing a fantastic job. Personally, I think that there are a whole bunch of young players that can really pay it big on some other teams that just have the right pieces, which we don't have. But that's a video for another day, right? Today, guys, I want to talk about some feedback. I finally got some feedback on YouTube. It's fantastic. I cannot tell you. Even though it's not the best of best feedbacks, it's something that gives me something to make a video about, guys. Sometimes it's very difficult, you know. You watch other videos on YouTube. I know a lot of people do that. I do that myself, and I sometimes wonder, gosh, do I want to do something or talk about something that somebody else has already talked about? And so I kind of come from the same thinking, right? If I'm learning photography, you can accuse a lot of YouTubers about not doing videos that teach you or help you improve your photography. But the reason why is because a lot of them on their journey have already went through that episode, you know, where in the beginning you're giving a whole bunch of tips and tricks and ideas and stuff like that. But once you've made a video about everything that you feel is important to photography, then it can kind of get mundane, right? And you kind of feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again, even though that your audience is changing, right? The same people that saw you 5 years ago are not the same people that are seeing you right now, and so I can kind of understand where that comes from. So the fact that I have some feedback and I got something to talk about, and so that's why I'm gonna make this video for you. I wish I had the person's name, I just don't. But if you want to go back to some of my other videos, you'll see some comments on there. Maybe you can figure out who it was. But either way, I'm not trying to name them out or anything. If I just had a name like Joe or Melissa or whatever, that'd be great, but I just don't. Even if it was a fake name, I'd be happy with that. But either way, guys, basically the person that was commenting on one of my videos where I was editing a picture was commenting that my editing skills were not up to par, I guess you could say. They weren't, quote, high-end edits. Well, I'm not a high-end edit guy. I'll tell you that right now, right? I'm a photographer first, right? So I spent a whole bunch of time getting it right in camera, guys. I'm a flash photographer, so the road to get into a pretty nice image in camera is a lot easier. There are some skills involved when it comes to using flash, especially if you're using multiple flashes like I do. Sometimes I'll use one flash, sometimes I'll use two, sometimes I'll set up three, and I've set up as many as five flashes and have gels going off, putting color exactly where I want it. So basically, when I show it to the client on the back of the camera, a lot of times they are so happy with the result just looking at it in camera, because I've already spent the time to get the picture right. And because when you can see it on the back of the camera, and at that point when I bring it back to put it into Lightroom or Photoshop, pretty much the image is, most of the time for me, is about 90% there. So it's just a minor tweak here and there. There's not much that I have to do to that image to make it look really good. And as far as high end, now the great thing about photography is that everything is negotiable. Everything is as you see it. Everything is what makes the customer happy, guys. So if you have clients that want you to do high end, or feel the need that they want you to make them look plasticky and stuff like that, in general, I don't do those things unless a customer specifically comes to me and is real specific in what they're asking for. So they might come to me and say, oh, can you tuck my cheeks in, or can you pull my eyelids up, or can you oh, I've got a bald spot, can you relay some hair across the front? Unless they come to me with a request like that and are very specific, then I'm not gonna mess with their picture that much, guys. I'll be honest with you, because you just never know how a customer is gonna react to it or how they're gonna feel about it. And so, why would you even want to go down that rabbit hole, right? Now, I have had customers where they'll say, you know what, I want everything. If you want to repaint my face, if you want to, restyle my hair or change the color of my shirt or whatever you think, whatever you feel is going to make me look my best. And they get specific, hey, I need my hips tucked in, or I need my shoulders to not look as big. Can you pull me in on my shoulders? Stuff like that. There's no sense for me to do all of that, right? And the fact of the matter is that for me personally, and again, that's what photography is all about, right? It's all about you as a photographer and them as a customer. So as a photographer, my style is pretty straightforward. I'm not trying to change colors. I'm not trying to, make the sky purple or or anything like that. And I have nothing against those kinds of photographers who do that, because again, that's their style, that's their preference. Now, when customers see that and they want that, then they're gonna call them to do that for them. But if one of those people were to call me and ask me to do that, and it's not something I normally do, I'm gonna let them know, hey, wait a minute, I'm maybe not the photographer for you. It's not all about the money. Why am I gonna attempt to do something that is not me? If somebody goes to my website, I do have tight headshots on there. I do have landscape portraiture. I do have all kinds of different stuff. But if they can't find it on my website and they're asking me to do it, then to me, that's a red flag right away. That tells me that I might not be a good fit for that client. So it's not that I don't know how to high end edit. I do. But the fact of the matter is that they're not paying me to do that. Most of my customers too, they're trying to get a low price, and so why am I going to spend 2 hours to 3 hours with them on a session, come back, do maybe an hour or an hour and a half edit to get those pictures back to them? Can you imagine if I were to do a full blown frequency separation, and a tip and tuck here, and pull my eyes up and brighten the eyes, and if I did that on every single picture I did during a session, gosh, it would take me an entire week or two. Why in the world would I want to do that? That makes no sense. Now, it depends on what your motivation is, obviously, too, as a photographer, right? Because if you're a photographer who does it as an artsy kind of thing, I can see that, because you might be working on one image, you might take 100 pictures, narrow it down to say 3, and then narrow those 3 down to 1. Now, at that point, I can see, if you're only going to do one picture, I can see you doing that whole mess of editing, Photoshop, going through Lightroom first, and then going into Photoshop, and then maybe taking it over to whatever other program you decide that you're going to use. I get that, because to me, that's high-end art. That's a totally different kind of genre. I'm not doing all that. I'm a photographer, and I feel that my job as a photographer is to try and get it as much correct as I can in camera first. Second of all, I don't want to change the person, how they look. How they look is real important to me. I want them to look their best the way they look, right? And also getting those pictures back to that client as fast as possible, guys. And my price is not set up. I'm not set up to charge $3,000 for one, portrait over the couch. But there are some photographers that do that. If that's what you do, then go for it. I'm not, I have nothing against you, but don't have anything against me for being a photographer who does, a portrait session, shoots 100 pictures and delivers 50 or 60 pictures on the regular. That's pretty much what I do. Now, am I going to do frequency separation and do all that other stuff for 60 pictures? I'm not doing it because I'm not charging them $3,000. Maybe, maybe if I could, but that's not a market that for me being in San Antonio all these years, I just don't see that market. Well, not that I don't see it. I won't say that. I have seen it, but for the most part, the kind of customers and clients that I see and meet and have as clients are not those $3,000 sessions like that. So there's a lot of factors that go into the fact that I'm not a high-end photographer. I mean, not a high-end editor, but I am a high-end photographer. That I will I will admit that I'm a high-end photographer, but a high-end editor, I'm not that, and I really don't want to be that. I'd rather be spending my time taking pictures than editing pictures any day of the week. Given the preference, I'd rather have it 90% taking pictures, only 10% editing pictures. That's the way I see it. But to each your own. If you want to edit pictures 90% of the time and only spend 10% of your time taking pictures, that's what you like to do, right? Basically, I guess, guys, just like any other job, right? We're all in it for different reasons. Some people are in it to make money. Some people are in it just because they simply enjoy it. Some people like to make people happy. So it just depends what you're in it for. I'm in it to make money. That's basically how it all got started. It's a long story, and maybe someday I will go into that long story about how I got into photography and why. But I will say this: it was to support my family in our most biggest time of need. In 2007, there was a big need, and photography was something that I kind of actually didn't know a whole lot about, but I knew enough to get myself in there and start making some money. And so that was the route that I took. Like I said, there's a whole story behind it, but that's what I'm going to say for right now, just to keep it short and simple. So for me, photography was about making money first and foremost, not making art, quote unquote art. But anyway, guys, I'm just glad. I was so happy to get some kind of feedback. It's been a long time since I haven't gotten any feedback. But I'm gonna be cordial. Whether you're mean to me or whether you're nice to me, it doesn't really matter to me. Feedback is feedback. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Either way, comments are comments. They count the same. So thank you for leaving that not so nice comment, but it is greatly appreciated, and it gave me the opportunity to record this video for you guys. I'm hoping that you're liking these videos. If you are, give me a thumbs up. If you're not, just do like the last guy, give me a thumbs down. Either way, I'm happy with it, and I will respond. Right now, not that I don't get too much feedback, so any little feedback that I do get, I will respond to it right now. But hey, it is what it is. If you want to see some of my work that's quote not high-end edited, you can find that at camera64.com. That's www.camera64.com. If you want to find me on Facebook, it's Alfonso C. Chavez III on Facebook. And you can follow along and see all the kind of cool stuff that I shoot. I love shooting at night, love shooting during the day. And I enjoy shooting people, period. That's what I like to do. No landscapes for me, no animals. I enjoy shooting people because I enjoy meeting new people. So if you want to come out and meet us, or if you find yourself in need of some great, awesome photography and you live anywhere in the state of Texas, then we can get together and meet up. I do travel the entire state: Corpus, Dallas, Houston, Fort Worth, El Paso, Laredo, anywhere else in between, and all places in between. But take care, guys. Thanks for the feedback. I really enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. That would be awesome too. Till next time, take care. Have a great night. Bye-bye.